Hi, I'm Ted Samsel-Jones. I'm a law professor and a lawyer, and I'm one of the guys who started ChartaCourse. At ChartaCourse, we make online casebooks for law school classes, and now we're offering some bar study materials as well. Our goal at ChartaCourse is always to make great materials available to law students at a good price, and try to make legal education a little bit more affordable. What we're offering for bar prep are actual questions from past bar exams with answers and explanations from the bar examiners. These materials are simply the best way to prepare for the bar exam. They are something you are probably not getting through your commercial bar prep course, and we are offering them for the lowest price available anywhere. We have over 1,400 questions available in packages. You can buy them starting at just $59. Okay, you probably weren't aware that actual questions from past exams were available. I know that I wasn't when I took the bar. So let me explain a little bit how this happens. The bar exam is written by an organization called the NCBE. That's the National Conference of Bar Examiners. They write the MBE, that's the multiple choice portion that's used in every state but Louisiana, and they also write the entire UBE, that is the multiple choice questions and also the essay questions that are now used in a majority of states that have adopted the UBE. In addition to writing the bar exam, the NCBE also makes past questions available as study guides, but they have the past questions copyrighted and they don't give them away for free. What they do is they make them available to companies to sell pursuant to license agreements. Okay, now most commercial bar prep companies don't use actual questions. I'm guessing because they don't want to pay the license fees to the NCBE. So what they do instead is they write their own questions that are kind of similar to past questions. But here's where it gets kind of sticky for them. They can't be too similar because otherwise they'll get sued for copyright violations. In fact, about a decade ago, PMBR was sued by the NCBE for copying questions too closely. So what we have right now is the system where commercial bar prep companies charge you a lot of money, but they don't want to pay license fees to the NCBE, and they also don't want to get sued. So they write questions that are kind of similar but not too similar. Now, for the most part, that sort of works out okay because their questions are mostly pretty good, but this whole situation is not ideal, and of course, who gets screwed in this, as always, it's law students. So that is where we come in. We've entered into a license agreement with the NCBE, so we have their banks of past questions, and we've got our website set up. So we have put them together as study materials for you to use in preparing for the bar. Okay, I want to explain a little bit then what you're getting with these materials. And for starters, I want to start with a little bit of a caveat. We are not a fancy Silicon Valley-backed company. We're just a few law professors who started this to try to make legal education cheaper. So we don't have the fanciest website in the world, although it's simple and it works well. We don't have analytics. We haven't figured out yet how to make bar study like a video game. What we just have is taken the material from past exams and presented it in a very clean and straightforward way that you can use to study. If you want to fancy your website, there are other ways to get this stuff where you can spend $300 or more to get the same materials, but we're making it available cheaper just to give you the best chance to purchase this stuff and study effectively. Alright, now let me explain how we've packaged the materials that we received from the NCBE. We have over 1,400 questions, and we've packaged them into 3 separate subscriptions that you can choose for $59 each. The first one is OPE 1 and 2, the second is OPE 3 and 4, and the third are other past exam questions. Let me explain what the OPE is. OPE stands for Online Practice Exams. These are sets of questions, 100 questions each from all the MBE subjects, with answers and explanations. Now, what is great about the OPE is that they have not only recent bar exam questions, but also the correct answer and also explanations for every correct and incorrect answer written by the NCBE. The OPE is absolutely the gold standard of bar prep. If I had only 1 week to study for the bar exam, all I would do is drill the OPE questions because you get to see not only what the questions look like, but also the right answers and also explanations from the bar examiners themselves about the doctrine that they view as relevant and applicable. So the first thing I would do if I were you is start by buying OPE 1 and 2, in part because that's the one place where we have Civ Pro questions. As you probably know, Civ Pro was only added to the bar exam pretty recently, so there are not very many past questions available. We've taken the past questions that we do have on Civ Pro and put them into OPE 1 and 2. That's $59 for 210 questions. OPE 3 and 4 is another 200 questions, again for $59. So I would start with the OPEs and work through those as a really great way to study. If you want more questions beyond that, we have about another 1,000 questions included in the third package, which is just called Past Exams. Now, these are not as good as the OPEs for a couple of reasons. One is they're older, so some of the questions are a little bit out of date. Like the questions on con law, some of them might not be correct anymore. And also, they don't have explanations for the right and wrong answers. So the third package I would only use if you have completed working your way through the OPEs and feel comfortable that you know that stuff well. And if you just want lots of additional questions to drill yourself with, I would get the third package. Otherwise, again, I would start with the OPEs. They are, even though they're not as many questions, they are the best quality questions. One other difference, as I mentioned, is that the OPE materials are organized by subject matter. So we've taken all of the contracts questions and put them together. And the way the OPE works then on the website is you get a question and you have 4 options shown, and you can click on the right answer and it'll tell you if it's correct or incorrect and why. The third set of materials, all of the other past exams, just look more like the bar exam in that you just have all the questions in different subject areas grouped together. You can work your way through all the questions, and then there's an answer sheet available at the end. All right, if you are interested, it's very simple. Go to ChartaCourse.com and create an account if you don't have one already, and then it'll walk you through how to sign up for which courses you want. You'll see them listed at the top, the 3 different MBE courses. Again, they are $59 each for a 3-month subscription. One thing to note is that that subscription is for you alone to use. As I mentioned before, we have to pay a license fee to the NCBE, and we actually have to pay a license fee for every single subscription. And as part of our licensing agreement, we also need to make sure that you don't share the materials or share the passwords, because these materials are owned and copyrighted by the NCBE. So please do read the terms of service carefully. And if you have friends who you think might be interested in this, please tell them, but please ask them to purchase their own subscription rather than sharing your password. Well, I hope this works out for you, and whether or not you use the materials from ChartaCourse, I wish you the best of luck in the bar exam. And please do feel free to email me if you have any questions about this or anything related to the bar. Thanks a lot, and good luck.